Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Because of that, you guys, I'd be sitting here talking to a voodoo doll all by myself. And I got to tell you, it's amazing how the first fans that are addressing here and already in the house are not Washington Redskins fans. As CJ Richardson says, has anybody seen the Washington Redskins fans? Okay, what a game yesterday. Before we go anywhere, we got to go ahead and get Joe Boo a refill because we did it up. And in fact, let's go ahead for some extra mojo for tonight. We're going to do True Blue shots. And this is coconut rum and blue I don't know, Sriracha. It starts with a C and it's blue, okay? That's all you need to know. You guys know I'm a name butcher. And we're going to need some shots and we're going to need some mojo because right now, as we speak, the Fifth Circuit Court in New York is hearing Zeke Elliott's case, and they are expecting a ruling tonight. That's right. Tonight, they're going to have the final say. We don't know which way it's going to go, what's going to happen, but all I got to say is we're going to need it. What the NFL is basically saying is Roger Goodell didn't need to review what his investigators said because that wasn't his job. His job was just to make a ruling. So that begs the question. When I heard that, I was kind of like, Mark needs a refill because that makes no sense. If you weren't going to listen to the investigator, why did you do an investigation? Which brings me back to my original premise is, why the hell are you guys doing criminal investigations to begin with? Aren't you the National Football League? I didn't remember seeing CSU or Law and Order in your tagline. I thought you were football. But apparently, you guys think that you should be an investigation. Well, I know I multitask. Okay, I'm a blogger. I won't say I'm a good one, but I'm a blogger. I do construction work. I like to cook on the side. Occasionally, I'll do a little bit of writing and stuff, but that's me. I'm not a multi-billion-dollar business. I think that multi-billion-dollar business should be focusing on football because you got some issues on the field that you need to deal with. You got some referees that are blind as can be or biased as can be, making terrible calls. You got guys that are getting injured on the field that possibly could be losing their leg. You got concussions left and right. You got Jerry Jones in the national anthem protest, and you got McNair calling players prisoners. So why is it you need to go ahead and stick your nose into Zeke Elliott, who's never been charged with a crime? Okay. Some other breaking news. New England Patriots have traded Jimmy Garoppolo to San Francisco 49ers. For the number two pick? Is that what? Yeah, for the number two pick. So I find that actually kind of interesting because I thought, well, no, there's a couple things with that. And I don't mean to get on the Patriots because fuck the Patriots. Excuse my language. But you hold on to Garoppolo if you think that Tom Brady only has a year or two left because you're going to need somebody else in there and you got somebody that's in the system. But if you think Tom Brady's going to be around 5 years, then you go ahead and bring in what you can bring in. So that move really didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But hey, what do I know? New England's been winning more Super Bowls than anybody else. So I'll let them be them. Okay. Cole Beasley in the concussion protocol. He's day to day, so we don't know if he's going to play this week or not. So we got that situation. We had our tailgate. I want to thank everybody who showed up, and I owe you guys an apology. I failed a little bit. I was focusing in on making sure everybody got their eat on, and I didn't plan it out well enough because I miss the opportunity to interact and really talk and get to know you guys. And that's the thing that I am saddest about, because I was trying to be the host and make sure that everybody's belly was full, everybody had a great drink and everything else. But I didn't get the time to talk with you guys and just really party around. And I apologize for that, because that's the thing. That's the only thing that went wrong with yesterday, because in my heart, I really want to get to know you guys. So forgive me. I'm going to do this better. Basically, I'm going to need, the next time we do this, I'm going to need to get a little more help. So that way I can kind of get the cooking and stuff going, but I can get out there and take more pictures, because I didn't even take enough pictures or videos and stuff like that. But I hope everybody had a great time. Special shout out to Space Cowboy, who came all the way from New Jersey wearing his Jobu t-shirt underneath his jersey and everything else. They came through with a tarp. We didn't need it. Fortunately, didn't rain during the tailgate. But I appreciate you showing up. Your mom was fantastic. You are great. Send me your address, because I got a little something for you, Space Cowboy, because what I always try and do is, it's important to me to try and make a difference, try to spread good feelings and everything else, because there's so much negative in the world. There's so much hate in the world. I just want to try and make this a place that people can, come around, talk trash realistically. Now, I'm not saying F you, I mean, talk trash about teams, but be respectful to others. I had the New York Stinking Giant fan who was in the car with us. He had a great time. He's like, man, the next time you do this, I'm in. And it wasn't that I hate the Giants fans. He was a cool dude. It's just, it's fun for me to talk trash, to be able to go to all my Redskin friends that got their butts kicked yesterday and talk some smack. That's part of the great thing about football. And when you look at what we were doing, we had black, white, Hispanic, old, young, men, women, children, all there together, thinking about playing football, getting to know each other, and having a great time. And that, my friends, is what football should be about. That is what the NFL needs to focus on. I understand they got a black eye because of Josh Brown, because they turned a blind eye to Josh Brown in that situation and only suspended him for one game. I got that. I understand Ray Rice. That looks terrible. Those guys were definitely guilty. There's no way you could say they weren't guilty. I mean, you had the video of Ray Rice clocking his now wife. You got Josh Brown, who was convicted of a crime. You had our boy, Greg Hardy, who didn't exactly look too good, and he certainly didn't act like. Those situations look bad for the NFL. They look terrible. I got that. And you don't want to have those situations of people who are convicted of a crime not get punished. But this situation is really different. You guys have been going after this man relentlessly. Why didn't you spend some of the time that you're spending on Zeke Elliott on Josh Brown or Gillette for the Redskins or McDonald out in California with the 49ers? I didn't see you guys having that kind of drive for them. And it makes me really feel like you guys really are out to screw the Cowboys because of Jerry Jones and us. I mean, I know it's more popular to talk about the Dallas Cowboys because we're the biggest fan base, because people hate us or they love us, but either way, they're talking about us. So if you make an example of him, then okay, then you satisfy everybody except the Cowboy fans. I get that. But NFL, you look stupid. Sorry. You just look bad in this situation. So hopefully tonight, one way or the other, we will know what's going to happen. Forgive me if I keep looking away, because I'm trying to keep up with any news. When it breaks, I want to be on here. And if it does break tonight, like they say it will, I will come back on a live stream if it's after the fact. But I do want to share at least a little bit with you guys. Right now, Kansas City is up 14-0. I want to share a little piece of the tailgate yesterday with Scooter Magruder.
Hello friends, Cowboy Joe Boo here with the Joe Boo Sports Report, and we are setting up for our tailgate. And we have the most famous Scooter Magruder. How are we doing today?
You already know, Cowboys Nation is live in effect. We are out here about to get this W. The W is necessary.
You heard it from Scooter Magruder. So tell me, have you heard about Joe Boo's Chicken Wings?
I have not heard about Joe Boo's Chicken Wings, but I'm willing to try them.
Okay, come back here in about 20 minutes and you're going to get your eat on. I'm Cowboy Joe Boo, reporting live here at FedEx, where the Dallas Cowboys are about to bitch slap the Redskins. Right. Well, here we are. Everybody is beginning to chow down. We got the first course. We got some black and blue burgers. We got some pulled pork. We got some chili, pasta salad. You guys aren't hitting that mojo punch like you should be now.
I am. Y'all gonna need it.
All right, take hey, we got to be loud and proud for the Redskins. There you go. For those Redskins now. Our one Giant fan here. You're amongst family, man. You know, your color, you got blue. You know, why don't you just step on over to the blue side over here, man?
This is the real blue.
Okay.
Blue sucks.
All right. Everybody having a good time so far?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. When anybody's ready for some shots with Joe Boo, let me know.
I got you.
Okay.
Oh, hey, you guys are back already. Sorry. You know, it's very bad to steal Joe Boo's rum. I'm just borrowing a little bit from him. But it was a great time with you guys. And I got to be honest. Oh, frick. I told you guys, but one thing I will always do is I will always tell the truth. If I'm wrong, I will tell you I'm wrong. If I owe somebody an apology, I will apologize. But I will always shoot straight with you guys. I never bullshit. And when I told you guys that was my dream to be able to do this Joe Boo mobile man cave to go tailgating and just spend time with you guys, it's incredible. I wish I could go, oh, God. I wish I could do this in Dallas with the Philadelphia Eagle game. That's where I really need to be with all of Cowboy Nation. It would be off the chain, and I got to figure a way to get that thing done because it would be incredible with all the Eagle trolls and everything else in there. Breaking news, Mr. Wright. I don't know. I hadn't heard that one. Yeah, okay. We got Martavius Bryant. Yeah, okay. And we traded Cole Beasley in return, who has a concussion. Okay. All right. I haven't seen any of that breaking news, but hey, if it is, okay. Scooter Magruder was great. I wish he had come by actually after we were set up so I could really have gotten some stuff. But literally, we got there in the parking lot. I'm trying to blitz and get everything set up, getting it all rocking and rolling and everything else. And somebody goes, "It's Scooter Magruder!" And I'm like, oh, fuck. He's here already? Damn. But I was hoping he would come back, but I knew he wasn't going to come back. He's going to be going through and seeing everybody and everything else. But the Dallas Cowboys, we showed up, we showed off, and we owned that joint. There were so many Dallas Cowboy fans there. It was just unbelievable. And watching the team warming up, the team had a bump in their step. They were definitely into it. Seemed like they were ready to go. And I was proud of them the way they came out, although Zeke Elliott, first play of the game, fumbled. But the thing that I keep remembering and seeing that everywhere Zeke goes, there's a flipping camera in front of his face. When he was warming up, the team is out there stretching. There's 3 cameras literally all around him. He literally cannot breathe without a camera or the media people being there. And, when you're seeing all these cameras there, you know what's going on. They're talking about Zeke Elliott. This could be his last game for the next 6. He's a domestic violence abuser. What's going to happen tomorrow in court? All that stuff has got to be weighing the man down. It's weighing me down, and it's not even me. I just hope and pray that tonight we get some good news and that one way or the other, it's done. I'm worried about this keep getting kicked down the road, that I don't want to lose him if we have an opportunity for the playoffs. And that's the bottom line. So let me get to some of your questions. I see we got a lot of people in here tonight. I'm sorry. Hey, Sarah, how you doing tonight? Yeah, Scooter Magruder was great. C.J. Richardson was great. Uh, all you guys were great. Cowboys, Space Cowboy was fantastic, and his mother. This Monday night game, well, hopefully Kansas City will wear themselves out and be tired by the time we play them next week, because that's going to be the big game. That is an important game. That's a chance for us to go ahead and send a message. Joshua, um, Joshua, no, man. You know what? It's not me doing for you guys. It's you guys doing for me, because you don't know how much of a high that was for me. Um, it was a lot of work, because I literally started out like Thursday getting some of the stuff together, the tailgate, the grills, and all that stuff, trying to plan this out. Started getting food together on Friday, and Saturday I'm actually kind of setting everything up to see how I'm going to do this and practice and making it and all that. But for me, the feeling that I got inside, meeting you guys, seeing you guys smile, seeing you guys happy, it just literally was one of the best experiences of my life. I'll be flat out and be honest with you. It was freaking incredible, and I want some more of that. I want to do this in Dallas at the Eagle game on November 19th. That would be incredible. Sarah, thank you. I appreciate that. What do I think of our new kicker? Well, when he missed that first kick, I was like, oh crap, here we go. So far, so good. What, smoke signals or something? Okay. What's up, Cowboys family? JD, Daniel, Mark, Britt. Daniel, how are you doing? What's the latest on Zeke? The latest on Zeke is they'll have a ruling, they say, tonight. Sometime tonight, we'll finally get a resolution on it. At the moment, basically what the NFL is saying is, or excuse me, the NFLPA is saying that Roger Goodell didn't have all the information, because he didn't have his investigators report saying that Zeke Elliott really shouldn't be charged with anything. That Tiffany Thompson's uh, testimony is not credible. There's too many holes in it. It's like a block of Swiss cheese that's been shot by a shotgun. It just won't hold water. And he's saying he didn't need that report to know that he's guilty. And that's where I kind of say, I need a refill. Are you kidding me, Roger? Really? Now, I'm going to say something that I'm sure I'll get a backlash on. Deep breath. It's interesting that Jerry Jones says that that Zeke Elliott needs to get a fair shake. That it's just not justice. That the NFL is doing him wrong. And it's not fair. The system is not fair, and that they need to reevaluate and change what they're doing. Jerry, I love you, man. I love what you have done for the Dallas Cowboys in putting forth the best effort to make the greatest stadium in the world. I love what you do for the fans. I love the fact that I could walk up to you and have a conversation with you just like anybody else. I love that. But Jerry, you are the pot calling the kettle black. Because, see, it's interesting how until it's you and something's happening to you, you don't see what goes on in the world. Because what's happening to Zeke Elliott, if you think that he's getting railroaded and shafted, if you think that the NFL is just out to get that guy, welcome to the anthem protest. That's what it was about. When you see kids that get killed by police and nobody gets justice, when you know about the history of people being lynched because somebody said they whistled at me, when you know that the system was meant to keep you down, that's what the protests were about. It's about getting justice. Just like you want to get justice for Zeke Elliott so you can keep him out on the field playing, the protests were about people getting justice in life as well and a fair shake. It was never about, we don't like the military. We don't like this country. We love this country. We want to do everything to succeed in this country and to be a productive person in the community. We want to have opportunities to have the American dream. We just don't want to get shafted. So, Jerry, hate to say it, but you might now understand what it's all about. And it's kind of ironic because you're the one that's saying that my Dallas Cowboys are going to stand for that protest. And if they don't, they're going to be out of here. To me, it's pot calling kettle black. And I'm not trying to understand people. I am not trying to piss people off because there's some people that will say, F you, F the Cowboys. I mean, sometimes it gets in these comments and stuff. It's like, no, I'm trying to make you understand what it's about. I got no hate in my heart for anybody. Even the Eagles. I've been wronged in my life. I've had things that I know because of my skin color have been different. I've been called nigger. I tell you what, if I had $1 for every time I was called nigger, I would have the Joe Boo Mobile Man Cave right now and be in Dallas every single game. What I try and do here is let you guys understand a different point of view and hopefully open up some dialogue. Because I have hope for this country. When I know what we did yesterday with all these different people that didn't know me anything other than from a video, I felt like I knew these people for years. So I just think it's almost ironic that Jerry Jones feels that Zeke Elliott is being wronged by the system and he's protesting by talking about it and everything else. Isn't it kind of funny? Yeah. Okay, so that's where we are right now. So far, no word on Zeke Elliott. At 9:30, Cowboys Nation, he showed up for the tailgate, helped me out because he knew I was in the weeds trying to take care of everybody. Black athletes are more gifted to, oh, Lord. Please don't start with the stereotypes. Please don't do that. Dez is slow now, shaking my head. Yeah. Dez has had injuries. Dez is getting a little longer in the tooth. And, unfortunately, when you get older in football, you don't get necessarily better. You get older. But, it is what it is. I mean, do you think Dez Bryant's going to be the same Dez Bryant he was when he was 24? No, he's getting old. I don't think Rico will be eligible to play until after the Chiefs game. I may be wrong with that, but he's not going to be eligible till then, so you won't see him playing against the Chiefs. And I think Rico could actually be a game changer for our team to be able to stretch the field. I feel fantastic about that. Now, one other thing that I definitely want to talk about here is, and maybe it's just, but before I get to that, Brandon Green, how do we keep Lawrence and David Irving? I mean, how do we keep Lawrence and Martin? Oh, guys, here's the thing. If you want to keep them, you can keep them both. And you can keep David Irving. David Irving, actually, you can end up putting on he's a restricted free agent, I believe. You can basically get David Irving again for next year, I think, for only about $3 million. So that's not a problem. DeMarcus Lawrence and Zach Martin, you can do creative deals. If you think that they are going to be team players that for the next 5 years you're going to keep, what you do is you can give them, I'm not saying do this, but Tyron Smith's contract was a $90 million contract. But the bonus money is prorated through the life of the contract. So you could give DeMarcus Lawrence a $25 million signing bonus, sign him to a $50 million contract, and your cap hit for the first year may only be like $5 million. And for once, our Dallas Cowboys aren't at the ceiling for the cap. Right now, we have $14 million. And there's going to be some guys that you end up reworking contracts or getting rid of. Tyrone Crawford, I said this at the beginning of the year, that Tyrone Crawford was paying for his Cowboy life. Because with the injuries he's had to his shoulder, he hadn't been as productive as that contract, and he's a $10 million cap hit. Not completely because of his contract, but because we ended up renegotiating it to use it as a piggy bank. So that's part of the reason why the cap hit's so high. So if he wasn't productive, he could have been a cap casualty for next year where we're going to save some money. Dez Bryant might be something when you look at that $17 million cap hit number that you try and renegotiate or you redo that deal so it changes it, or maybe you end up There's ways to sign Zach Martin easily. You can sign Zach Martin tomorrow if you wanted to, with the $15 million you have right now, and DeMarcus Lawrence and David Irving. So don't worry about that. We're good. The Cowboys, if they're for anything else, they're good at creating cap room and money. Come to Dallas and do some shows in Cowboy Land. Oh, it would be off the chain to do some live streaming from Texas, from AT&T Stadium. I'll be honest with you. I just have to look at where I am money-wise and see how much it's going to cost to get there. I did have somebody who actually texted me and said that they have an Airbnb, and me and Michael are welcome to come stay free of charge. So that definitely helps out a bit. I got to look and see what the flights and how much the tickets are to the game. But the tickets for that game are going to be through the roof. And the problem, of course, is tailgating there. All my stuff is up here, so it's a lot logistically to get there. But we'll have to see. Maybe I'll get lucky and bump into a bit of Kyle money in the next week or so. Matt, I never said Dez was washed up, but here's the thing that you have to understand. And I said this when Dez Bryant's contract was they were renegotiating it. Almost to a man, whenever a wide receiver, be it Megatron, be it Larry Fitzgerald, sign those mega deal contracts, their numbers start kind of going down. And it's the natural progression of age catching up to you. Sorry, Jerry Rice was a freak of nature and ended up being productive, until he was almost 40. But that's few and far between. And Dez has had a bunch of injuries and doesn't quite get that separation that he had before. I don't want to say that, but he just has not been getting that separation thus far. Oh, that's another thing too. But see, here's the thing. Tony Romo would force the ball to Dez Bryant just to make sure that Dez Bryant didn't go off. And sometimes those balls shouldn't have gone to Dez Bryant and they end up being turnovers. But he was trying to feed the beast. Dak Prescott from day one let Dez know, if you're not open, I'm not throwing you the ball. You got to be open. And that's the thing about Dak Prescott, that you have to, everybody just keeps pounding on Dak. Well, he's not a deep bum. He's not long. He's not getting 400 or 500 yards a game. If we have to throw for 400 or 500 yards a game, we're screwed. Our defense is going to be worn the F out. You want this team to go methodically downfield and chew up the clock. Why? Look what happened in the Redskin game. The defense, another 4 sacks. They're able to pin their ears back because they know the Redskins got to pass the ball. They can't run on us. They've got to pass. You got to force them into mistakes, and we finally got, oh my God, an interception, a pick 6 to end the game. And I couldn't believe that I was live streaming there during that pick 6. So that was kind of cool. It's kind of like it just all worked out perfectly. It was kind of funny because my cell phone wouldn't charge up. I've got these backup batteries that you plug in, but because it was so wet, it kept giving me this thing that, sorry, your charger port is wet, so we can't charge you. And my phone just cut out and died. Finally, it just started charging up, and it came back on just in time to catch the end of that live stream there, and it was fantastic. But, guys, anybody who doesn't appreciate what Dak Prescott has done, I believe he has the most amount of wins in 20 games of anybody ever for the Cowboys. Just go back to 2015. Please just go back to 2015. And remember what we had as far as quarterbacks back then. Tony Romo couldn't stay healthy. Ended up getting knocked out twice. Brandon Whedon, maybe he should have been on the weed because he certainly wasn't doing it being off the weed. And Matt Castle, I don't think he could throw over a castle wall, man. It was just ugly. We got one freaking victory with those guys in 11 games. So remember those times when you guys start talking about Dak Prescott's not throwing for 400 or 500 yards. Dak Prescott isn't throwing for 3, 4, 5 interceptions in a game. Dak Prescott Daniel, to answer your question, they haven't announced anything yet. They're going to announce it sometime tonight. So they've said. If they do, believe me, I'm going to let you know as soon as I see something on it. But right now, there's nothing on it. That's all I can tell you at this moment. We're all on pins and needles. Dallas Cowboy football news.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about this?
Thank you for the shout out there, buddy. I don't think I did right offhand Dallas Cowboy football news, but I will check it out. Do me a favor. Email me the link to Cowboys94 at Gmail to make sure I get it, because when I go through all these things, literally the things are flying through here. It's hard to keep up with them. And I'm old. I've been hitting the head from football too many times, had a bunch of concussions, and I don't sleep a lot, so I'm forgetful. So forgive me, but I definitely will check it out. No word on Rico. Rico is working back out with the team. We'll find out if he's practicing tomorrow. He's eligible to practice now, but he can't play until after week 8. Do I think Jeff Heath is worth keeping? Oh my God, man. To me, Jeff Heath is not a starter in the NFL. I'm sorry. Jeff Heath, love him. He's not Charlie Waters reincarnated. To me, a safety. Okay, understand what a safety is. Your safety is your last line of defense. The safety is the guy that says, this is my freaking end zone and your ass is not getting there because you got to come through me. Which means my face and head should always be pointing towards the quarterback or the ball carrier. It should never be facing the end zone. Understand, I'm watching the quarterback's eyes. I've got my assignment. I've got these guys that are coming out towards me. I have my head facing in that direction. Okay, hold on. That's actually my buddy. That's Cowboys Nation. Let me get that set up here. Turn the TV on. Let's see. Where's the video? Cowboys Nation is in the house here. Hold on for 1 second here while we get the TV going. Turn the volume up. Everybody,
Yes, sir.
I want you welcome in the house, Cowboys Nation, who showed up yesterday along with everybody else from the Dallas Cowboys to bitch slap the Washington Redskins. And I tell you, we took care of business. I don't know if it was a Jobu Mojo punch because everybody was getting their drink on, but literally we were out there in the rain and definitely giving to Washington Redskins. Thank you for joining me tonight, Cowboys Nation. I don't know. Have you heard the latest with Zeke Elliott?
What's up, Joe Boo? What's up, Mark Holmes? First off, man, thank you for having me. I'm actually, you see, I got my Cowboys jacket on, right?
Amen
Mark?
to that, man. Amen to
I
that.
don't go anywhere without it, and definitely living in the DC area like we do, it's been lovely. It's been lovely, man. I haven't heard anything on Zeke. I've really just been fighting off Redskins fans and really just fighting off their excuses.
Wait, hold on. Wait. You found Redskin fans?
Well, here's the thing, Mark.
I can't find none.
Well, my thing is they didn't have their regular clothes on. No, they had their regular clothes on. They didn't have any skins attire on.
Man.
And then they really just got a shock because they're stuck with Kirk Cousins for pretty much the rest of his career, or when he decides to flame out, because Jimmy G is, as you know, been traded. I'm sure you've talked about it or not, but he's been traded to San Fran.
Yeah, he's been traded too.
Yeah, so we get Kirk Cousins in our division, who, that's great. He hasn't beat Dak yet, so it's cool.
I don't know that the Redskins, because the Redskins are one of those teams that just always seem to make the wrong move. They actually have been talking to Sports Talk 980 that Andrew Luck basically is just kind of holding out and saying his shoulder is screwed up because he wants to get the hell way out of there, and that they could see the Redskins trading for him to be here and letting Kirk and his cousins and his contract go.
Listen.
Listen. Stranger things have happened with the Washington Redskins, so nothing is beyond them.
Listen, I wouldn't doubt it. You got to understand you have a knee-jerk owner who wants to be Jerry Jones. He's wanted to be Jerry Jones for a while.
Yeah.
The problem is Jerry, what he doesn't realize is Jerry's son is taking over and talk some sense into Jerry into not making knee-jerk decisions, actually trusting the draft. That's why we have guys like Jordan Lewis stepping up like he did yesterday. It wasn't great, but it was good. That's why you have Xavier Woods in the secondary playing good.
Okay, we were literally just talking about Jeff Heath.
Okay.
Why the hell is Jeff Heath still starting?
Okay, so I've done a lot of talk with my homies. Joe Rod, shout out to him. Cowboys blog, shout out to Law Nation, and I've just beat it home that I don't want Jeff Heath on the field, this, that, and the third. But we got to understand, Mark, the Cowboys have a trust factor with Heath. I just think that they say, you know what, he'll snap out of this funk. But the coverage skills aren't there.
The speed's not there.
He didn't get beat bad this game, and it's partially because, the threats on the outside for the Skins were just not good, Mark.
But here's the thing, though. For me, and this is what I was talking about just before you called in. To me, safety is the last line of defense. Okay?
Right.
Your eyes should be looking at the quarterback and everything coming. Everything should be in front of you. Too many times I see Jeff Heath running behind somebody going towards the end zone. It's like he's always getting burned, and you never see him in a position where he can actually lay the wood and deliver a blow the way a safety should. I would rather take my chances with Xavier Wood, a guy who has a nose for the football. He's a rookie. I know he's going to make mistakes, but Jeff Heath is getting burned on a lot of these plays. And every time I look around, and as I was watching last night, I'm just looking and seeing Jeff Heath is literally just chasing people, and he can never, ever seem to make that hit, that blow, and keeping himself in the right position. But that's my personal opinion, but I think Heath is just not the answer. I mean, they can trust him all they want, but you've got what you got with Jeff Heath. I think you've got a higher ceiling with Xavier Woods. I think he needs to be playing a lot more.
You will, and that's the thing. So to touch on that, in their dime and in their pass package, their third down packages, X Woods is on the field. I think you want to see X in base. And
thank you.
You know what? I don't disagree. I think that Jeff Heath's angles suck.
That's what I'm talking about. Because it's always you see him going up to meet the receiver, and it's like, oh, I messed up, so now I've got to do a 180, and I'm chasing the guy. He's never in the right position, and I don't know if it's the speed, if he doesn't have the cutting ability, what it is, but he just does not seem to have it. And it's like they keep trying to fit this square peg in a round hole, and it's a liability.
And I'll tell you this, to piggyback on that, Cowboys fans, I know a lot of Cowboys fans, right, their whole thing is, let's blame Byron Jones, he doesn't make plays. The one thing that Byron Jones is, he's always in great position. I don't care what you say. You rarely see Byron Jones trailing. You rarely see him beat badly. You rarely see him take a false step when he's in trail position. Everything's in front of him. He won't come blow you up, but he won't miss
That's
a tackle
the thing. And see, that's the thing I like. I like a safety that's a headhunter, a guy who puts fear in guys that, if I'm coming into his backyard, I got to worry about it because he's going to take my head off. And I don't feel like we have that. And I feel that guys are just being able to go ahead and go unmolested, knowing that I'm not going to get my clock cleaned. And I think we need a true safety that puts fear in receivers. Because
they don't grow on trees. I think he's a big hitter.
Yeah, and I think that's where he needs to be developing and getting out there and doing it. That's the kind of guy that I think you need out there. Byron Jones, I think, really would be a better corner than a safety.
You know what? You're not alone in that. And basically what they're doing on third, and it's working though, Joe. Yeah. It's working, Joe Boo. It's working, Mark Holmes. What they're doing is third down, Byron Jones is coming up and he's playing press. And he's playing it well. And he's erasing. He erased Vernon Davis on a couple plays in that game last week, last Sunday. Well, Sunday, excuse me. And then Jordan Reed, he got him on one play, made a quick tackle. Other than that, Jordan Reed was good for the time that he was locked down for the time that he was in the game. So I like it.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm happy with the win. Unfortunately, we got some Cowboy fans out there that are saying, they were a wounded team and they didn't really beat them that well. They kept. It's like, dude. It's like, people, calm down. We got to win.
Right.
It's like people are never satisfied. They keep saying, "Oh, well, Dak Prescott only had 150 yards passing." It's like, yeah, no interceptions and bad weather, and we won the game. People keep wanting to see this 400, 500-yard passing game, shootouts, and I'm kind of like, yeah, we had that kind of shootout against Denver with Tony Romo, and we lost the game. I'll take a win at any point, however it takes to be.
So that's how my channel kind of came to be, was when I did the draft coverage on Dak, and I know who Dak is.
Mm-hmm.
And he is, I don't like the term game manager. He's a protector.
Mm-hmm.
He won't make bad decisions, and he will make the play. So he'll make a play at the right time. Where you have a guy like Kirk, you look at the end of the game, he has 400 yards and a loss. You look at a guy, it's a bunch of quarterbacks around the league who, once you got them figured out, again, Kirk throws the ball 40 times and they lose by 2 touchdowns.
It's always fitting that he is.
Right thing.
Yeah, it's always fitting because last year, if you remember, in the fourth quarter, they had the opportunity to go up by 2 scores. He threw an interception in the end zone. The Cowboys go down the field, score the game-winning touchdown with Morris. Alfred Morris ended up getting the game-winning touchdown, but it was because Kirk Cousins. Had they gotten that touchdown right there, they would have been up 2 scores late in the fourth quarter, and we probably would have lost the game. So, yeah, Kirk Cousins has the Tony O-nose, as people used to like to say, late in games more times than not. But, unfortunately, he doesn't seem to get that knock. But it is what it is.
Exactly.
Thing I'm going to ask you about is your opinion about Jaylon Smith.
Listen, I thought it was great for the kid to get the pick, and even though it was called back, it's great for his confidence. I like what they're doing with Jaylon, so I've been hard on him as well. Here's the thing: Jaylon playing 60+ plays, no. Jaylon is spot duty, and getting his play count down. I like it because at this point, Jaylon still isn't all the way healthy, but he's out there. He's getting game experience. He's essentially a rookie. So everything is still kind of, it's kind of fast for him, Mark. So to me, I had to temper back that I was being so hard on Jaylon. But I like it. He's getting there. Let's say that he's getting there.
I haven't heard any of those rumors, everybody, that Zeke is free. I'm still waiting to hear from stuff on there. I do know that they're saying there will be a ruling and stuff tonight. As soon as I hear something, that I know for sure, and I've been checking the wires here while I've been having a conversation here with Cowboys Nation. And if you don't know who Cowboys Nation is, please come out from underneath the rock, man, and check my brother out because he's definitely one of my homies here in the Northern Virginia area, sticking it to the Washington Redskins. Tell us a bit about your channel, if you could. Cowboys Nation.
So it's Cowboys Nation TV. Just hit me up on YouTube, man. I started just like as a fan of you, of Shango, some other cats. Law Nation is great, and just as a fan of sports. Hold on, real quick. I'm in the studio. Coach.
Okay, he's in the studio, but as far as rumors on Zeke, I have not heard any rulings.
So we started. Yeah, that's what you get, that live and direct right at you. So it just started as me just like, I really wanted to cover the draft. And so just speaking about the draft, Mark, and just basically just all things Cowboys, and it's grown, and people like you, man, who do a great job, and you just make it fun. Like, it's supposed to be fun. Sports is supposed to be fun. You have all these guys who cover, and Pro Football Focus, and this, that, and the third. And I like it, but I also like your channel because it's fun. So thank you for just giving me that shout out, man. It's love.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. No, for me, I always started doing Joe Boo because I was fortunate enough to be able to do a lot of really cool things and see a lot of stuff, and I wanted to share it with people because I would love to be able to take everybody along. So I was always taking pictures of Joe Boo in different places, and then people kind of started looking and saying, "What are you doing?" So then I started sharing it, and then more and more as I'm watching the sports shows, it's like you see so much stuff that is just flat out BS on ESPN. It's the same narrative from show to show to show, and I was like, you know what? I feel like I need to at least try and give a different point of view, or at least try and set the record straight. And that's how this channel kind of got going. So that's where I enjoy having guys like you, guys like you said, like Shango and Law Nation and stuff that are out here putting in the work, trying to bring you at least a realistic view of the Dallas Cowboys from a fan's perspective.
Well, It's definitely because, you got guys like Stephen A. He's a troll and he's made a living. Like, people got to understand, Steven, Skip, all these people, NFL Network, they make a living off good, bad, talk about the Cowboys and just hit it for 5 minutes, rant, talk crazy. And then it's like, you haven't educated, you're not really making sense, the inner workings of what Dallas is really doing. People really think that Jerry is so hands-on. Real Cowboys fans know what's going on. It's Steven, it's Will Clay.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? It's a whole brain trust behind Jerry. So I agree with you 100% on that.
Well, that's what I always say about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is basically the lightning rod because Jerry Jones has got basically everybody over here chasing him, and the real work gets done over here. Like he was always talking about, Johnny, we want Johnny Manziel. He's a great quarterback and everything else. And yet they went through and they take Zach Martin. So everybody takes the bait with Jerry Jones and all the stuff he says, but the real work is actually done over here. But you mentioned Will McClay, and I'm worried that at the end of the season that somebody's going to open up, a boatload of money and try and take him, because when you look at what the Cowboys have done over the draft over the last 5 years, they have hit more than they have missed than anybody else in the NFL. Somebody wants to pay that dude to be a GM.
That's a fact. That's a fact, Mark. And, it's about patience. Think about how many Cowboys fans wanted DeMarcus Lawrence gone.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's about patience. It's about trusting. That's why I tell people, even with Taco, give it some time.
Oh my
Let
God!
him come into his own. It's about patience. The draft is about patience and a plan. A plan. They had a plan with DeMarcus Lawrence. Now he's leading the league in sacks. Just let it happen.
That's and that's what I try and tell people, because everybody, Taco's the best. But here's the thing, Taco's not getting that much time. Now he did get a tackle yesterday. He's got a pressure as well. But Taco's not getting a whole lot of time out there because Tyron Crawford's got, 3 sacks, 4 sacks? You've got DeMarcus Lawrence.
I think he has more than that.
It might be. I think it's 4. It may be 4.
Yeah, I think it's 4.
You got David Irving, who has just been like, the second coming.
5 sacks.
5 sacks in 3 games, and of course, DeMarcus Lawrence with 10.5 sacks. So who are you going to sit to bring in Taco, a rookie that you don't really need right now? That's the strength of our defense. You want to bring this guy on slowly. Make him sit out there and learn the craft and earn a spot. Dwight Mathers, I do have Joe Boo t-shirts. If you go to my website, Cowboy Joe Boo, I see it's come through quite a few times. The Joe Boo website, Cowboy Joe Boo, you can order some there. I still have a few left, but I'm going to be ordering some more in the near future, and I may end up redesigning those as well. So that's where you can get that if you want one. But yeah, they need to give the guy a chance and give him some time. Unfortunately, I think we got spoiled because of last year's draft, where people, Dak Prescott came, boom, immediately impact. Tyron Smith came out, immediate impact. That they're expecting that every one of these guys, as soon as you draft them, are going to be an all-pro. But we have just been blessed and fortunate that we've had guys that have come through the draft immediately and played well. So, like you said, give the man some time.
Patience is so key, even with these young picks, man. Now some of the ones, so Cheeto is kind of like, all right, does he have what it takes to be healthy in this league? But then you see Jordan Lewis coming on. You see Xavier Woods coming on. You see Jaylon Smith coming on. So give it time, guys. Even with Jaylon, I had to kind of temper back my critique on Jaylon because, after the Rams game, I was upset, Mark. And I was just like, you know what? We praise him in training camp and this, that, and the third, and he looked good. But the facts are this. Live action against good running backs, shifty backs, even against Aaron Jones, Green Bay, Jaylon was a tick slow. So, did Dallas see that? I'm sure. Are they going to do some things? I'm sure, but they're not going to give up, and that's what I love about my Cowboys, our Cowboys.
Okay, one quick update now. I can't tell you for certainty or not. Dwayne Howell says rumors are that Cowboys running back won the legal case, and this could be huge for the Cowboys going forward. I've also heard other people say that the NFLPA's attorneys walked out and looked pissed off, but there should be a ruling by midnight tonight. So we'll see if that actually happens. We don't know. A lot of people, what I will say is this, is don't take anything for granted right now or take anything for sure, because People will put stuff out there just for clickbait to try and get you to hopefully click on them and get paid for it. So at the moment, there's nothing credible out there. We're just going by what we're getting from rumors. So I have to wait and see.
That's a fact. That's a fact, Mark.
So, I mean, how do you feel about the whole situation? You think he's got a chance?
Listen, man. So at this point, I don't even know what the argument is. I have kind of tuned myself out from. It's gotten so nauseating, Mark.
That's where I'm sick of it too.
I mean, and you know, it sucks for fans because I think it was 2 weeks ago. I was like, Zeke's playing. I had no idea. I was just thrown like it was a curveball. And of course, you want Zeke out there. I mean, look at the way he's been playing. He's been amazing. I'm going to do a video tonight on his runs and how good he's been and just dirty yards. Because even at the game yesterday, Mark, it was no like big runs, but it's 4 here. It's 3 here. There goes 7.
You keep pounding the rock.
I mean, It's amazing, Mark, to watch. And you want to know something, Mark?
What's that?
And Cowboys fans out there, this is what my video is going to be on. Watch how Zeke is taking punishment this year. He's not taking clean shots. He's so smart.
Yeah.
This guy was born to play football. I counted about, and I cut up about, I'll say 10 to 12 runs, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
He's clean, jump cut, get down when the play's done. Last year he was doing a lot of bull rushing or a lot of trying to take guys on head on. He's almost like a boxer. He's setting players up, and it's amazing to watch. That was the quietest 150 I've ever seen.
It really was. Now, Daniel, as far as right now, all we've got is some rumors, which, of course, have gone both ways. We've got some rumors that Zeke Elliott, it looks like he did really well. Then I've also heard rumors that the NFLPA has left the hearing looking pissed off. So we don't know. But what they're saying is we'll get a ruling sometime before midnight tonight. So we'll see what happens on it. I don't. You guys are wanting me to talk Zeke, but there's nothing really to talk about right at the moment, other than we don't know what's going on because there's no cameras allowed, no video equipment, and it's just basically going by word of people who've come out from the hearing, and people aren't leaving the hearing because they don't want to lose their seat. So until somebody comes out, there's nothing really that we can really report on it. And your guess is
what is this hearing about, Mark?
Well, the hearing, here's what it is the NFLPA is basically trying to do away with the restraining order, get the restraining order intact because they're saying that Zeke Elliott didn't get a fair shake because the commissioner didn't even view his own investigator saying that Zeke Elliott shouldn't be charged because Tiffany's not credible. So the NFL is saying that Roger Goodell didn't need to hear that because it's his job to understand and blah, blah, blah. So who knows? The problem, of course, is it's in a New York City 5th Court of Appeals, which is generally favorable to big business and has been favorable to the NFL in the past. So they are fighting uphill battle.
Right.
So who knows? And it's going to be big one way or the other. If we lose Zeke for the next 6 weeks, Kansas City right now is up 17-3. They've been, they're playing. Well, one was a strip fumble, and they took it to the house. Kansas City's going to be a tough game. Of course, we have them at home. We got a little extra rest. Maybe we have a little momentum. Atlanta has turned into garbage, and then
you got the big Philly game.
And then
so
Philly,
here's my thing. We got to go into Philly. You like to go into Philly 6-3. With no Zeke, that's going to be hard just because the playmaker that he is, the workhorse that he is. It's not impossible. So the game next week is this, and just to give you like my thoughts, it's Sean Lee versus Kareem Hunt. It's how you contain Tyreek and just the gimmicky things that Andy Reid likes to do. Now, Jason Garrett knows Andy Reid.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? Not much. Now, the thing is, looking at KC's defense, and I need to be watching this game, I'll be able to see how we can attack. But I still think back by committee. See, that's where I was, Mark, because of this whole Zeke thing. I was like, well, let's get ready to go running back by committee, and let's make some things happen there. I think you could attack KC. I watched the Skins game. They were able to attack their corners on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not ready.
You know what?
I'm not ready to concede
Bringing
that.
up the Skins, I got to tell you what the Skins did well that I have not really seen our Cowboys do is they came in and they literally punched Kansas City in the mouth. They literally went and laid the wood to them from the first couple of plays. And that's the thing about our defense that bothers me is we play so much off. We end up giving that 7 to 10 yard cushion and stuff as opposed to pounding those guys. And I think we need to get a little bit of an attitude, a little bit of an edge and get in there. And it seemed like you were a little bit busy, and we are actually almost at the end of the show. Any final words for you, my man, Cowboys Nation?
Hey man, just thanks for having me on. Let's do something, weekly or just if whenever you want to have me on, I appreciate it, bro. Shout out to every Cowboy fan and just a special shout out, Mark, again, and thank you for what you did last night. Cowboys fans don't take that lightly. You had a bunch of food out there, like that's a solid person. All the followers, all the subscribers you have, you still were humble enough to do that. That means the world to us, man. Peace.
No, man, it's all about us, Cowboy fans getting together and being family and stuff. So thank you, man, because you really helped me get out of the weeds yesterday. We had a great time, and we definitely going to be doing it again. I'm thinking about trying to do a trip to New York so we go up to the Giants and slap them around. And I'm really getting kind of bold and thinking about going to Philadelphia this year.
If you do it, I'll go, man. Let's go deep.
Are you
posting this on your page, Mark?
But the live stream will be up on my page here. It usually takes about an hour or so to upload, but it'll definitely be on here. So, guys, if you don't and haven't subscribed to Cowboys Nation, be sure to do that, man, because the brother works hard just like all the rest of you guys that are out here. And yes, Finn, we did hit 15,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for all the support. So, have a good night, my man, Cowboys Nation, and we will definitely be doing some stuff soon.
All right, peace.
Man, that was fantastic having my man here, Cowboys Nation. Definitely. I didn't say I'm ending just yet. I'm thinking about holding on and seeing how well we can go, even though I haven't even had dinner yet. I literally got home from work, got my stream set up here so I can be with you guys, man. You guys don't realize that this is actually like a full-time job trying to keep up with the Dallas Cowboys because unlike all the other teams, good Lord, the Dallas Cowboys are always something going on no matter what. Right now, it's 17-3 with Kansas City. Looking like they're taking care of Denver. I want to know, how the hell did we get our ass handed to us from Denver, who now can't seem to get out of their own way? I mean, they lost to the Giants. They're getting their ass handed to them by Kansas City. Is it just that they got up for us and was their Super Bowl for this year? Because this is crazy when I look around and see that. Mark is a beast. I don't know about me being a beast. I drink a whole lot of coffee. That helps. Daniel, you're not going to subscribe if I leave here without a decision? How about if I leave and come back when there's a decision, man? I've already been talking for literally an hour, man. I haven't even had a bathroom break. Fuck it. You know what I mean, Mark? But I'd have to go upstairs to the kitchen and get something. Man, Sarah, the Redskin trolls have just gone. I'm surprised we don't have Eagle ones. It's so funny that last week, when we won against San Francisco, 40-10, all of the Eagle trolls were in here saying, oh, you just beat an 0-6 team, man. They're nobody. You're supposed to beat them. Oh, okay. All right. Even though other teams didn't beat them. Even though other teams were, just beating them by 2 or 3 points, we blow them out. That's nothing. So they'd win, 33-7, 33-10, whatever. Don't hear them here talking any smack, though, right? If the Eagles were so good, why wasn't it 70-0? Oh, but then again, what do I know? Well, Zeke, I tell you what. If you look at the picture that's on the beginning of this live stream, it's a picture that I actually took. I actually got some pretty good pictures I'm amazed from my seat in the rain with all that stuff coming down, trying to keep my camera dry. But that was one of those holes. You can literally see daylight because I got 2 pictures. I took one as he first gets the ball. The second one, he's actually going through the hole, and you see the do not enter sign. And he just goes right to the house. They had some pretty good holes in there last night, and we had a few mistakes there. What kept that from being a blowout for us was truly, I'm sorry, I'm checking this because every time it beeps, I'm thinking that maybe it's some news on the Zeke Elliott situation. But every time we started to get something going on offense or defense, it seemed like we kept getting a penalty. I'm not saying that the officials were biased, but you're telling me that the Washington Redskins, with an offensive line that was basically inexperienced going against the pass rush that we had, that those guys didn't hold? But yet, it seemed like every other play that we would make a first down on, we were holding? Really? I'm not saying that they were biased against the Dallas Cowboys. But you kind of have to wonder, like, what the hell was going on there? Eagles went out mostly 14-2. Well, they do have a soft schedule, but I don't know. Wait. So somebody's saying they're going to beat the Cowboys twice? Is that what you're trying to say? Romo as a coach. Well, knowing football, here's the thing. Knowing football, playing football are great, but it doesn't always translate into motivating people. Because more than anything else, you have to be a guy that can take somebody and make them buy into what you're believing. You can have the best system in the world, but if the guy is not motivated and doesn't believe in what you're saying, it's not going to work. That's what Dak Prescott does as far as, for me, as leading this team. He makes the guys around him believe that we're going to be able to do it. We're never out of this. We're going to go ahead and find a way to win. And that's leadership. You have to be a leader. You have to make people want to literally run through a brick wall for you. And some people have it, some people don't. It's more than just the X's and O's. It's about motivation, because the difference in the NFL, especially now, between winning and losing is so small. These teams are literally just about dead even, except for the Cleveland Browns. And that's why you see these teams that one week they look like world beaters, the next week they look like garbage. Because it's about the team that was motivated a little bit more, that got a couple of calls, that got a couple of breaks, got a few turnovers. All that makes all the difference in the world. Hey, well, look, without a doubt, I am into Dak Prescott. And if you don't like that idea, then you need to move on, because when I first saw him at the Senior Bowl, I knew that guy had it. I can't explain it, but I know it when I see it. One of the things that the Cowboys that drove me crazy yesterday, that I was like, what, the play calling is driving me up the wall. Dak Prescott is freaking incredible rolling out bootlegs. When you've got Zeke Elliott running the ball well, you do that sweep or that dive to the left, Dak fakes it to him, rolls out, everything is wide open. He can run if nobody's there. Or I guarantee you, because they've got 8 men in the box and they're trying to collapse on Zeke Elliott, you're going to have one-on-one coverage outside. Or you're going to have a whole lot of daylight. And I keep wondering, why are we not using that more? Because here's the thing that it'll do for you. Not only picking up yards there, it will loosen up the defense and make them think that, okay, yeah, Zeke is going that way, but last time Dak Prescott went that way with the ball. You get confusion. Think back. Think back when we were 8-7, playing against the Washington Redskins, a win, and we're in the playoffs. Back when RG3 had his rookie year that was incredible. Think back to DeMarcus Ware, the Pro Bowler, one of the greatest Cowboys of all time, the soon-to-be Hall of Famer. I remember that game like it was yesterday, because I remember DeMarcus Ware literally standing there not knowing what the F to do. RG3 rolling out, okay, doing the read option. Do I take RG3 Do I take the running back? Which way do I go? And literally standing there flat-footed as he just runs by him. That was using the weapons that you had on that offense to the best of their abilities, using their abilities, and throwing stuff at people to keep people confused on the defense. So it wasn't that DeMarcus Ware couldn't play. DeMarcus Ware didn't know what the F to do. And by rolling Dak Prescott out more to the left and to the right, you're going to get the defense saying, Zeke Elliott's coming this way. Is he going to get the ball, or is Dak Prescott going to run? Which way? What do I do? Because it's that much time to make a decision on which way to go. And if you guess wrong, it's gone to the house. But when you're predictable and guys know, Cowboys are just going to keep pounding it right here, I just need to stay home. You'll succeed sometimes, but you're not keeping the defense off balance, and that's where play calling comes into effect. Shallow Hal. Shallow, I'm going to ask you, my man, when are you going to let it go? When are you going to let Tony Romo go? Nobody said anything about Tony Romo tonight. We're talking about Dak Prescott. My quarterback. That's my teammate. Why don't I become an Eagle fan so I won't have to put up with the bullshit like your guys stealing underwear and cologne? Oh, we got jokes. We have a troll in the house. Okay. In Dak we trust. And that's the thing, Keith. I'm going to tell you now, when you're at home watching a game, you don't really see the rain like you do when you're there. The tailgate was fantastic. It didn't rain until actually the game started. It rained, and it got cold. It started getting windy out there. And I got to tell you, Michael, my son, was like, I'm cold. I'm wet. And we had plastic ponchos on. It was cold as a mother. The wind was kicking up. The rain was coming down. You were soaking wet. The ball was wet. You're going to make some mistakes. Oh, Jack Duncan. Oh, please. Jack, I thought I was out, and you had to bring me back into Calais Campbell. Oh, damn. Damn. Daniel, you're right. Daniel, you must be a troll. You have to. You hit the nail on the head as far as AT&T Stadium. The problem is Jerry Jones made the ultimate playground. There are so many things you can do in Dallas. When you go there, you see the drummers and the women dancing in cages. You got the big screen TV. You got all the bars. You got Victoria's Secrets down there in the shop and things. You got all the artwork that's out in the patios. You've got the party decks where you can see all your friends and have a great time. The great food. So when you go there, the game is kind of an afterthought. And it's so incredible that other teams, fans want to go there because if you're going to go to a away game, you got to see the Palace in Dallas before you die. So you get a lot of fans from other teams. And you get the Cowboy fans that are there who are out to be seen. Let me talk to my friends over in the party deck, or let's go down and get some nice gear and everything else. So people aren't focused in on the game. Like, let's say you go to FedEx Field where it's a garbage dump. There's nothing there at FedEx Field that you want to do. Or you go to Oakland where you're worried about your life. You're going to be in there watching the game and cheering on the team because that's what your only thing you're going there for is the game. So, yes, when you go to Dallas, we don't have the home field advantage that some teams like Seattle. You go to Seattle. I was there for the Cowboys versus Seattle, and a friend told me wear earplugs. I said, come on, man. He said, seriously. That stadium is so freaking loud that when I left, I felt like my whole body was still shaking, that I could feel the vibrations of the sound in there. It was 2 days before it seemed like my hearing came all the way back. Because that, my friends, is a home field advantage. You go to Oakland where you worry about your life. Dallas, not so much. We don't have that yet. We need to get that. I am infinite. I agree with you that Carson Wentz is a good quarterback. He's a lot better than I thought he would be. And I'm the first one to admit that I was wrong because I thought he would end up being a bust. But he is looking like the real deal, and it's going to be fun to watch him and Dak Prescott for the next, hopefully, 10, 15 years, going after title after title. Did I say going after title and Eagles in the same sentence? Okay. I don't really want Bryant from the Steelers because you know what? To me, that's not a team guy, okay? The team is winning. I understand you want to get more playing time, but, part of the reason why you're not getting playing time is because of the shit you did to get suspended. So don't mope over here and be pissed off because you don't have the role that you wanted to have because you screwed up and left your team down. I don't want that kind of attitude here. Yes, Jack, I want Rico myself, man. Well, Mr. Wright, here's the thing. The key thing that they're doing with Jared Goff is they are using him the right way. He's not going to be a guy that's throwing 200-300 yards a game and stuff. They realize we can run the ball. We got a good defense, and we'll protect Jared Goff and work to his strengths. Not all teams think that way. Sometimes teams and coaches have a philosophy, and this is what we're going to do. And I don't care if I don't have the players to fit the system. We're still going to do that. That's why in 2015, when Tony Romo went down, we kept trying to do everything that was built for Tony Romo, and the guys you had weren't Tony Romo, so it didn't work. As much as I hate the Washington Redskins, I have to give Joe Gibbs credit because when he came to Washington, he came from Air Coryell with San Diego Chargers, where all they did was throw the ball. They didn't know anything about a running play. And he got to Washington and realized, I don't have a quarterback to do that. I don't have receivers to do that. I've got a running back in John Riggins. I'm going to have to run the ball. And he came up with a single backfield with John Riggins and rode it to 3 Super Bowls. That's realizing this is what I got. How am I going to make dinner? And sometimes I feel like we're not doing that with our team. We're not creative enough to realize these are a guy's strengths. I know it's not what I want to do, but it's what I got to do. Dak Prescott is my boyfriend. No, he's not my boyfriend. He's Michael's doppelganger. And maybe he's my long-lost son. No, I wish. I would love to have a second son. Butler is consistent as Dez. We still have some coaching work to do. I agree with you guys on that. And thus far, check the wire here to see if there's anything else. So the latest, of course, is in the last 32 seconds is the judge to rule Monday night on the suspension by midnight or sometime Monday night. So that means if they're ruling tonight, they've got an hour and 47 minutes left before they do. Congratulations, Joseph, on getting married. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of people that said that Michael looks like Dak. Well, Jonathan, we'll see when they start playing some better teams. We'll see how Wentz does. They've got a cake schedule, I'm not going to lie. And, but again, in the NFL, a win is a win, so I'm not hating on them. We're being out schemed. You got a point there, Eddie. They Rob, they started out the hearing at 5:00. Don't ask me why it started out at 5:00. Don't ask me, I couldn't tell you, but it started at 5. I am infant. He needs to be out there against the Eagles. Okay. Don't take advice. You're not hating, but you just hating. Well, okay, so I am. But DJ, I think Jason Peters' loss will be a big loss for the Eagles coming and I think that definitely helps us out as far as when we play them with the pass rush we have, because I think that's going to be key for us on our defense. We have got to keep that pass rush going real well. Ooh, my daughter's getting married. Don't say that. Oh. David L. is saying that the ESPN reporter in the courtroom stated that the dialogue between the FLPA and the judge was combative. Could have been style, but it went from attorney. Okay. I hadn't heard that one, but, it's all conjecture. Yeah, I hear that the Eagles are trying to get Megatron to come out of retirement. The question you have to ask is how much will he be able to contribute this late in the season, having already been out? I'm not sure that he's going to be able to be that productive, but who knows? What do I know? I'm just a guy with the voodoo doll and a day job. Well, David Pence, the reason why they're so late is they started real late, and I guess they're just trying to keep it going. They're planning on making the call sometime before midnight. Maybe they're waiting until after the game's over, so maybe they're just watching the Monday night game. Terrible threesome, D-Law, Irving, and Crawford. You're right about that, but you could also make that a foursome because you got to put Collins in there as well. Well, we had the Jimmy Garoppolo trade that just happened about an hour ago, so that's a major move. I'm actually surprised with that one. To me, that means New England thinks that Tom Brady is going to be around for the next couple of years, but who knows what they're thinking. That boy, I hope you're right that Zeke will play for the rest of the year. I'm not panicking. Anthony Brown hasn't had the season he had last year, but give the team some time. I still think a lot of the problems we've had on our defensive backfield is consistency with the same players on the field. You got a lot of new guys that are out there, and it takes time to mesh. So don't give up on them yet. Rod Smith, I love the guy, man. I'm hoping that we actually start seeing him more on third downs because I think he's a great change-up from Zeke Elliott. Sarah, thank you for being here. I'm only staying on because we're trying to wait for the decision to come through. And some people are like, if you end up leaving now. Uh-oh. Newbie Shrugs says Zeke Elliott is going to be suspended for 6 games. Judge says it's back on. Motion denied. Suspension reinstated, guys. It is back on. It's official. Zeke Elliott is now suspended. I'm hearing this. It's just come down that it's being reported, at least, that suspension is back on. Yeah. Twitter is blowing up right now. Zeke Elliott is now suspended. Well, we got some work to do. We're going to be seeing more Rod Smith and Alfred Morris. Let me update something here real quick. So, guys, I hate to say it, Zeke Elliott is suspended. So, we now have the next 6 games without Zeke Elliott. Not what we wanted to hear, but we always knew it was going to be an uphill fight. In a way, it's going to be, Okay, guys, I'm going to have to let out for just a quick second because I have to go out and scream real quick, and then I will be back. So give me 5 minutes and we'll get back onto this. Ooh.